These are called pierogi, and across Latvia in the build up to Christmas, homes will be baking these little bundles of bacon bun delight. And I've just spent the last few weeks perfecting a recipe to make these pierogi so that they're as perfect as they can be. And I've been looking at how to make the dough, how to do the filling, how to finish them, how to make them the right size, and everything you could possibly think of. And I'm going to reveal that to you in this video, how to make the perfect Latvian pierogi. Okay, so let's start off with our ingredients. 350 grams of flour, 125 milliliters of milk, 1 egg, 8 grams of yeast, 30 grams of sugar, 80 grams of butter, and 8 grams of salt. And then we need something a little extra. This is for our Tangzhong, which I'll explain later. 50 grams of milk and 50 grams of water, and then 20 grams of flour. So there's a 5-to-1 ratio there. So first of all, what we need to do is activate our yeast, pour it into our milk, which is warm, give it a quick stir, and then we'll just leave that to get ready. And then whilst that's happening, we're going to make our Tangzhong. Now let me explain what Tangzhong is. It's a Chinese method, and first you're probably thinking, well, he's doing Latvian food, why is he talking about Chinese? Well, actually this method originates from Europe, and it was called scalding flour, and it's a great way to get more moisture into bread. And basically what we're doing is we're taking the flour and we are going to pre-cook it before we put it into the bread by putting it into a pan, mixing it all together, and then bring it up to about 65 degrees. And then when that happens, the starch molecules will burst, and they will take in as much water as they can, because the unique property of flour is that the hotter it is, the more moisture it can retain. And if you get more moisture in your bread, then a few things will happen. First of all, it's going to be nice and light and fluffy because there's more moisture, and so there's more steam when you put it in the oven to make more bubbles. The other thing, bonus, is that because there's more moisture in your bread, it will stay fresh longer. So this might seem a little bit of a faff, but it's well worth it. Okay, so now our yeast is activated, and you'll get a kind of light foam on the top. So what we're going to do now is start putting our dough together. Put all the ingredients, apart from the Tangzhong, into your mixer, or if you're going to do it by hand, into your bowl to do it by hand. We've got this Bosch mixer, which has got a really unusual dough hook, which I'll show you in a minute, and it takes some of the effort out of mixing the bread. So you can see it does a great job of mixing the dough. And then once all your ingredients are mixed together, then we add the Tangzhong at the end for the final mix. And all the gluten will come out, and you can see now it's a nice stretchy dough mixture. And what you're looking for is it to be sticky, but not to stick to your fingers. And I've put it straight onto the table. I'm just going to shape it a little bit very quickly with a my dough spatula, and then I'm going to put it in a bowl for its first proving. Just cover it with a damp tea towel and put it somewhere warm. We put it on a wood stove here, and then we can start making our filling. So for the ultimate pierogi, we need the ultimate bacon, which is, for me, is my homemade, home-cured bacon. Good mix of meat and fat. We're looking for about 150 grams, 160 grams. If you've got some mixture left over, then that's no problem. Better that you have too much mixture than too little. And to that, we're going to add about 120 grams of onion. But I mean, you know, 2 medium onions, 1 big onion maybe. Doesn't need to be precise. because this bacon's really nice and salty. If you haven't got bacon for whatever reason, then you can use just some belly pork, but you just need to add salt when you're frying it. Obviously with the bacon, lots of salt really, don't need to add any more. So it's finely chopped, ready for the mixture, and then we're going to fry off this mixture just to cook it through. We're not looking for crispy, brown, certainly not burnt. We're just looking for to cook the bacon and to bring some translucency to the onions. And then I'm going to add some pepper to this, just a few shakes of a pepper shaker, about half a teaspoon. But if you like it more peppery, then you add it. Okay, it's all ready now, nice and juicy. And our dough has been proven, and it's just about more than double in size. So we're going to beat that down. And now I'm going to start bringing the pierogi together. And I'm going to, this is again another faff point, but absolutely essential. Measure it out. You want each pierogi to be 20 grams of dough. And I give 1 gram leeway either way, 19 or 21. Once you've done a few, you get a feel for the weight, and you can almost measure them by eye. So I measure them all out, and this mixture makes about 35 pierogi. So then you want to roll it out, and you want a rough oval shape. Doesn't need to be precise. You can fix it when you bring it together, as you'll see in a minute. So I'm just going to roll it out quite thin. And about a teaspoon of mixture in the middle, and then you bring the two sides together and you just pinch them together, and then the ends you fold in, and then turn that over, and then put that on your baking tray, and that is your pierogi put together. And what that does is it leaves a thinner layer of dough across the top and a thicker layer at the bottom, and will prevent your pierogi being too doughy. But to be honest, with such a small 20 grams of dough, it's very difficult to go wrong, and that's why I've done it this way. I've experimented with all different sizes, and I found this is the best size to use. So another example from a different angle: pinch it together, fold over the ends, and it doesn't matter if they don't look very tidy or neat at the moment, because they're going to prove again, and they're just going to puff out a bit, and they'll look fine because of the way they've been put together. With the Tangzhong, you'll see them really puff up in the oven. So for our topping, for our finish, what we're going to do is take 1 egg yolk and mix it with about the same quantity of milk. Just whisk it together, and then we're going to brush the pierogi with our yolk and milk mixture, and then just to give it a nice brown in the oven. So these pierogi have proven for about 20 minutes, something like that. Give them a good coating with the mixture, and then they're ready to go into the oven. For the oven, you want about 180 degrees, 190 degrees, gas mark 7, something like that. We have quite a temperamental gas oven, but I made it work. Once they're nice and brown, golden brown on the top, you can take them out and they're ready. You can see how much they've puffed up. You know, they've become little kind of batch breads. And just for that final kind of perfect finish, I'm just going to lightly coat them with some melted butter. Just gives them a nice gloss. And then once they're cool enough to touch, we'll just take them off the baking pan, and we'll put them onto a rack. At this stage, people will probably start nabbing them and eating them, as you saw my daughter did at the start of the video. And they're nice and warm, the filling's nice and warm. And here they are, ready to eat. Okay, so you've just seen me make these pierogi, so I thought I would just end the video by cutting them open and showing you what they're like inside. So nice ring of dough around the outside, not bready, because of the way that I made it. This will just melt in your mouth when you put it in there. The dough will be so soft. Nice punchy, salty bacon filling with some pepper and the onion. Yeah, perfect, I would say. And is a nice batch, and you can freeze these as well if you want to do them in ahead of time. So I hope you found the video interesting. If there's anything you didn't like or disagree with, do let me know in the comments. If there's anything you do like, if you found it helpful, please leave a comment. Do leave a thumbs up, because that really helps other people to see the video as well, and share it on social media. And let's get everyone around the world making Latvian pierogi, or bacon buns as they are in English, which doesn't really do them justice. If you tasted one, you know what I mean. Yeah, let's get the world making pierogi this Christmas. Okay, I think that's it. I've got nothing else to say, nothing else to add. So I will say bye-bye for now, and I'll see you in another video.